I'll be going over this one fat boy, and here are my NBA game predictions for January 13th of 2022. Tonight there's 5 games. I'll be going over the spreads and over-unders. I got these spreads from FanDuel, and the over-unders will be my thoughts on the games. For Golden State at Milwaukee, I'll be going with Milwaukee plus 2.5. So I'll bet on Milwaukee for this game because whenever it comes to like big name games for Milwaukee, they decide to play those games. Like they play those games to win. And so I'll see that happening against the Warriors, as I don't know the answer the Warriors will have for Giannis. So I'm going to bet on Giannis to have a good game overall. And then also Milwaukee, they can lock down on defense. So this will be a good test to see how they defend three-point shooting, as that's what the Warriors are good at. They have a lot of shooters. You're going to have to cover them. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors win, but I do expect a close game throughout. I don't really expect either team to pull away by like greater than like 12 points during the game. It should stay pretty close, and then if a team does run a lead, it'll probably just swing right back, get it close during the fourth quarter. Overall, I think this will actually be a rather defensive game, since I'm going under 223.5. Both teams can light up the scoreboard, but I think the elite teams, they can lock down more on defense, and I expect that to happen during this game. For Minnesota at Memphis, I expect Memphis to get their 11th win in a row without a hitch. They're playing extremely well. They've had pretty much the best record since, I believe, the beginning of December around then. They're like 20-4. They're playing very well. And Minnesota, they're young. They're athletic, so they'll be able to keep up pace, keep up with Memphis, but I think overall Memphis is more well-rounded, has more tools. They also have Ja Morant, who's one of the best up-and-coming players in the league. So Memphis by 5.5. You could probably go up probably like 9.5, as I do expect Memphis to really extend this lead. They're also playing at home, so I think it's going to be difficult for Minnesota to stay in the game for the whole 48 minutes. We'll be going over 227.5, as Minnesota, they can light up the scoreboard. They also allow other teams to light up the scoreboard too, and also Memphis plays faster pace too, so I think Minnesota will be able to get their numbers, but I think Memphis will be able to get more of their numbers. So I'm going to expect a high-scoring game, so 227.5. You could probably rise up to like 235, and it'd still be a good bet to place. For the Clippers at New Orleans, I'll be going with Clippers plus 3. This is due to the fact that on their last game against Denver, when they only scored 28 points in that first half, they still found a way to get that win, even though it was a very low-scoring game overall. Like both teams didn't even cross 90, they still found a way to win. And for that, it just shows that they weren't deterred by that first half, still found like the grit and the determination to win that game. And that's something that's hard to instill in some players. So it's hard to bet against the Clippers when they're kind of playing against a lower tier team like the Pelicans. The Clippers will make the adjustments during the game to slow down like a Valanciunas or a Brandon Ingram, so that's why I'll bet on the Clippers. I will be going under 215.5, as the Clippers are playing good defense. They've actually been holding teams, even high-scoring teams, lower than their averages. And then in turn, they don't score a lot of points or haven't been scoring a lot of points, so it's safe to bet like an under for this game, especially like an under 220, but I'll say under 215.5, and I bet you when the over-under comes out, it's probably going to be around like 212 to 208, somewhere in there. But overall, yeah, Clippers, I think we'll figure out a way, make an adjustment how to slow down Valanciunas, as I assume he'll have a good first half, but then adjustments will be made during the game to slow him down, and that's kind of a focal point for their offense. So just for that, I think Clippers will win. For the Thunder at Brooklyn, so I'll be going with OKC plus 10.5. Brooklyn played last night, and it was a bit of a landslide, but I think just playing a second night of a back-to-back And then with how many minutes like Durant and Harden play, and with Irving back, it's like they're still going to be playing a lot of minutes. But I think OKC will stay in the game because they didn't play last night. They're youthful, so I think they'll still lose. Like if I were to bet anything on this game, I'd bet like a Nets money line or Nets by 3. But I don't see the Nets winning by more than 10.5, or unless like OKC just doesn't show up on offense and then they're just not trying on defense. Like I don't expect that to happen. As the Thunder, they have some try in them. I will expect over 220.5, as I do expect the Nets offense just to, score. As I believe you have Durant, Harden, and Irving playing tomorrow. As long as no one's resting, it's like that's a lot of talent you have to defend, especially one-on-one. And they're very good at the basketball. It's like they're like perennial all-stars for a reason. So if they have an open shot, they're gonna knock it down. And even those contested shots, they can knock those down too. And the Thunder currently don't have anyone like that on their team. So it's going to their points are going to have to come through good ball movement and set plays. But I think the Thunder will be able to score on the Nets defense, but probably more like in the tune of like 105 points. I will be saying over 220.5, as Nets should be able to score a lot without a problem. For Portland at the Nuggets, I'll be going with the Nuggets minus 9.5. And I'm going with that because Damian Lillard, he just had surgery, so he's going to be out for an indefinite amount of time. So it's just going to be McCollum, then Nurkic, then whoever else is on Portland, like Simons and I believe Gary Harris. But I think Jokic, the whole Denver offense and defense going to have to flow through him. And so it's really going to be on Nurkic to stay out of foul trouble and defend him close and slow him down. But I have more faith that the Joker will be able to win that battle without a hitch, as Nurkic, every time I watch him, it just seems he's always like in foul trouble. So I think Jokic will figure out a way to get him in foul trouble. So the Nuggets, with the advantage of like Portland not having Lillard, and then betting on Jokic to have a good game, Denver should win by 9.5. They're also playing at Denver, which that's an arena that's hard to win in compared to other arenas. But going over 218.5, as I think Portland won't be playing that great of defense on Denver, so Denver should be able to score. And then I think Portland, if they just have like a good quarter where they make their threes and all that, that should boost their score a lot. Because even without Lillard, it's like a lot of their players, they still like to shoot threes. So I'm usually going to bet on an over for a Portland game for scoring, as they allow a lot of points and they still can get a lot of points. So over 218.5. And thank you for watching. Comment any of your predictions in the comments. And once again, thanks for watching.